So now we can look at how the pre-processing can be executed. Again, this is a step that you only really have to do once. So you can do it in a computer that is not C-Dragon, or you can also run it in C-Dragon. I typically use C-Dragon for this, but you can do it somewhere else too. So here we're going to do it locally. So for the pre-processing, if you notice this command that I show in one of the videos, we have the -p flag, and that will trigger pre-processing. As I already mentioned, this hinges on how accurate the files that define the structures and the targets and so on are. So those need to be accurate. But notice for this command, I'm actually following that with training and evaluation, so we can just go ahead and do everything. Another way to do pre-processing is using the main file. So if I was doing it locally, like I am going to right now, I can just use the -p flag again and run the main file with the configuration that I want to use. Now notice in the previous example, in the previous command that I show, I was defining the ID and so on. As I mentioned before, those values are optional in the shell. So I like to type them in the shell, but you can actually just rely on the configuration file. If you want to use the same configuration for different data sets, which you can, then you can just define the IDs on the shell, and it will override whatever number the configuration file says. So that allows you to not have to have a bunch of configuration files that are all more or less the same for like all your data sets. So you can recycle it and just change the values of like IDs and so on from the shell in C-Dragon, for instance. Oh, sorry, Kubernetes. But yeah, so besides that, again, you can run a lot of these things. Actually, you can run the whole thing locally with the main file, since the Kubernetes command, like Kubernetes Radiant command, simply runs the main file anyways. So here we're just using the main file to perform pre-processing, and you can see what it's returning. So it's giving us sort of like a summary of what it's about to do. Data ID, the fold, so on and so forth, the ORs that you chose, and all that information.